Okay, hi Lori, how you doing? Let me give you my thoughts on your submission. Okay, so as far as your trade show booth goes, I think that you're starting to do a really good job of thinking about these materials and materials lists. But I mean, that said, I think that you're a little underdeveloped on your materials list. And let me describe what I mean here. Okay, so you're talking about, okay, for the information, that's cross-laminated timber painted with water-based soy ink. Okay, so what is cross-laminated timber? Is your viewer's not supposed to know what that is? I have no clue. I'd like to know though. And so tell us, what is cross-laminated timber? Why is it the most sustainable choice? Why did you choose to use it for this particular project? Why is it the most responsible material decision for this particular piece? Okay, and then the same thing with all of your materials. Okay, so you talk about an OSB, oriented stand board skeleton frame. What in God's name does that mean? I mean, I am just really lost on that one. I'm just lost. I have no clue, and I don't think your viewer will either. And then you talk about bamboo material and direct soy print ink, direct print soy ink print. I mean, you're just using a lot of terms that just nobody knows what they mean. So you really have to get in here and describe these things, Lori. That is going to be the difference between success and lack of in this project, is really giving your viewer exactly what they need, and that's the information on sustainability. Okay, for example, I'm using, for my stools and posts, I've decided to use craft paper tubes. I'm using craft paper tubes because, and then tell why they're the most sustainable choice, why they're the best choice for this project. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, soy-based ink, yes, it's sustainable unless you live in Florida and you're ordering it from Oregon and they have to put it on a truck to ship it to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Now it's no longer sustainable. So everything has to be described. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I think the most successful projects in this, in my experience teaching this class, are the ones that really go out of the way describing in minute detail every one of the details in all three pieces. Every one of the, details on all of the graphics. Materials, okay? As far as the trade show booth itself, do you really need 6 gaming stations? I mean, this is a really complex booth because back behind this wall, you're going to have all this electronics using a lot of electricity. And I just don't know if you need. I mean, to be honest with you, you haven't described what your trade show booth is. So your viewer now is looking at this going, well, I'm not real sure. And I'm looking at it going, I'm not sure, because you haven't really described it. So what is the meaning behind the trade show booth? I know you described it last week, but should your viewer need to go back last week and research your post there to find out what you're doing this week? Do you see what I'm saying? It's all in presentation. So I would describe this. What is the idea behind the game show, the gaming booths? What is the idea behind the curly, this curly wall right here? What's this thing right here? What's it made from? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now you're not doing a bad job. I think you have a great start, but I just think that you're a little underdeveloped at this point. Okay. This is great. I think this is really good. I think it's a great idea to print your informational collateral right on the back of the giveaway, the reusable shopping guide. That's a great idea. As far as I'm concerned, I think this should be your informational collateral piece. Why not? Nobody's going to throw it away, right? This doesn't have to be your giveaway. This could be your informational collateral. There it is right there. The only thing I want you to think about is you're talking about 85% recycled PET with laminated coating, but you also don't forget you have to talk about the ink that you use. You have to talk about those straps right there and the thread that's used to sew the straps to the bag. All right? And then you talk about your giveaway item. So I'm all for using your bag as your informational collateral. And then as your giveaway piece, here it says giveaway game, free code app, but you're showing pencils. So I'm really lost there. And then in your writing, you talk about a zip drive or so. So I'm really lost there. But at any rate, my main thing is, and you're not the only student, I've repeated this to every student in the classes, we really have to point to sustainable materials and describe why they're sustainable, and describe why they're the logical and the best choice for this project. Okay, hope I'm making sense. If not, let me know and I'll clarify. Okay, thank you.